This is a Bailey Ranger GT60 505. It's going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. This is all stuff we'll take you through in person here on site. Front locker, you've got your gas bottle, your gas regulator on the bulkhead. And on top of the bottle, you've got the on-off valve for the gas supply. It's a reverse thread fitment that actually goes into the top of the bottle. On the side of the van on either side, you've got your wind down legs. They are just there for stabilising the caravan rather than lifting the caravan. And like I said, you would never lift the van because it could damage the floor of the van itself. Cover on the side here has to be removed prior to anything being ignited on gas. As you can see, they're a little bit difficult to get off, so I'll show you that when you're here on site, so you can see how to do it. You then got your water pump connection, blue trigger on the side that you push into the side of the van and release the trigger, and it locks the pump into place. The pump end will drop down inside the aqua roll itself. Battery locker and mains power lead come into the side of the van. So your main lead goes into the side and your battery stays in the battery locker there. Motor mover will demonstrate while you're here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts so they are tightened correctly before, to the manufacturer's recommended setting before the van leaves site. Two grey waste pipes going out the side. The fresh water goes in just there, so the wastewater has to come out somewhere. Two bits of grey pipe go in the larger diameter circle holes on the outside, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. Toilet fill tank takes 3.5 litres of water, so you put the key in, undo the cap. Like I said, 3.5 litres of water in there and a cap full of the pink fluid. In the bottom here you have your toilet waste cassette. The van is still being cleaned at the moment, so bear with us. The cassette pulls out with the handle on the side here. The neck gets turned out so you can tip the waste away. And on the back of the cassette there's an orange pressure relief button, so you can press that button in and it'll allow the waste to be tipped away without it spitting and splattering back at you. That cassette takes 1 litre of water and a cap full of blue fluid prior to use. On the back of the van on either side you've got your wind down legs again, and as I said before, they are just there for stabilising the van rather than lifting the van. On the door side you've just got your fridge vents, which allows the hot air at the back of the fridge unit, and it will take some cool air in, and behind one of those is gas flue also for the fridge system. Going inside the van, you're first of all going to need to turn on the master power switch just here. You've got your internal lights and your awning lights. You've got your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment. And then you've got your voltmeter for the battery on board the caravan also. So to fill the water system, we're first going to need to come underneath the seat on the far right hand side of the van at the front. Going to lift up the seat, the cushion. Then you're going to need to make sure that yellow valve that you see in the video just there is parallel with the floor before filling the water system up. To drain the water system, that valve will point upright towards the bottom of the seat, and the idea of that is so you can drain down the water system, so like during the winter for instance where it freezes, it won't crack the pipe work open. So like I said, valve parallel with the floor prior to filling the system up. You'll then come over to every tap on board the caravan. You'll open all the taps up on the hot side of the water heating, and once they're open you can come over to the control panel for the water pump, and you can turn the water pump on. So you'd open the kitchen tap up, the tap in the bathroom, and the tap on the shower also. So actually saying that, it's one tap for the shower and the sink. So you'd actually open up the tap there. I'd advise you put it in the tap position rather than the shower position, so the water runs down the sink, but you'll open that tap up and bleed the water system. Once you've got water running out of every tap continuously, as you have here, then you'll be able to start thinking about warming the water on board the caravan. So there's two ways of warming the water on board the van. You've got gas and electric. So behind this panel on the other side we should have some control switches, which we have. So on the right hand side here you've got the controls for using the water heater on gas or electric. Got your main power switch here, that's your 230 volt electric water heater, so when you connect it to mains power you'll turn the one on this side and that will allow the water system to warm up on electric. On the right hand side here you've got the option to run gas. You've got a temperature control in the centre, so sorry, it's preset temperature on the electric side, and on the gas side you've got a temperature control between 30 and 70 degrees of water temperature. To ignite the gas system, very simply make sure the gas is turned on in the front locker. Remove that white cover on the outside that I demonstrated to you as we walked past. Turn the outside grey switch round to the gas symbol, and once it's on that gas symbol, it will self-ignite on gas as long as the gas is turned on. The green light will indicate a pilot light. The red light that will appear in a moment, I'd have thought, because the gas is turned off at the moment. There we go, the red light's just appeared. Is actually a fail light to let you know it hasn't ignited on gas. Essentially, whatever number's above the green light is the temperature the water heater will warm up to. So for instance, 30, all the way around to 70. You will use the gas to boost the water system while you're showering on board the van. So I'd advise you set it around 45 to 50 degrees, so it warms up while you're showering. Then cool it down with the water taps, or you can have it lower if you don't want to have it that hot, obviously. But if you've got the electric water heater on, even if you're on the electric water heater, sorry, should I say, that will only warm the water, it won't boost the system. However, the gas will when you ignite it on gas. So that's your water heating on gas and electric. On the opposite side just here, you have the heater control. So you've got the main power switch here. So essentially this is all for the 230 system rather than gas. I'll show you the gas operation for the room heater in a moment. Turn the switch on here and it will put power to this switch on the right hand side. So you'll need to make sure this is on if you're going to use the heater on 230 volts. Sorry. Down the side here you've got 500, 1000 and 2000. What that relates to is the amount of power coming into the caravan. So for instance, if you're on a site where you have 500 watts available, you'll select the 500 down the side here. Then you can control the temperature of the heater on the dial in the centre. The higher you go with this number here, the warmer the heating system will be. The lower you go, the cooler it will be. But the green light indicates that the electric heater is turned on. When you arrive on the site you go to, if you ask them in the site office, they'll advise you of what power source to use on here. As it's almost 26 degrees out there today, I'm going to turn the room heater off for now, so it's not too warm in here. Like I said, you can also use gas for the room heating. Now on top of the heater itself, you'll see this dial, which looks a bit like the barbecue control, for the instance, the gas barbecue control. You'll press down the gas valve and hit the igniter at the same time. So you'll have that valve held down while you're hitting the igniter. You'll continue to hold that valve down once you've got a pilot light in this window at the front for a further 5 to 10 seconds. Once you've held it down for 5 to 10 seconds, slowly release the gas valve and your pilot light should stay lit down in that window. If it doesn't, then unfortunately it's gone out and you'd have to start the igniting process again. Once it has ignited and it's running nicely, you can control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. With this caravan, you can also use blown air heating, a bit similar to what you've got in your car for when you've got the fans on inside the car. You've got your fan speed on top, between 1 and 5. The dot here indicates the heater is going to come out the front of the heater. However, you've got a wave symbol just here that will allow you to use the room heater on blown air. So that's the little vents around the caravan that you can't see at the moment, whereas one. There we go. So in the bathroom, for instance, you've got that little vent there that allows the heat to go around the caravan. But that's continuous blown air on that wave symbol. The A on the other side is basically automatic blown air, and it will cut in and out with the thermostat on board the caravan. I'm going to leave that on continuous blown air now, just so it can blow some cool air around inside the van with the heating turned off. Microwave works very much the same as your household, the same as your grill and oven. So down here on top of the fridge, you've got 3 different ways of running the fridge. Again, you've got the option to run gas. To ignite it on gas, you'll press in the temperature control on the right hand side and hit the igniter just here. Once it's ignited on gas, in this little window here, you'll see there's a little red line, and that little red line is essentially your pilot light. So when that red line comes around to the green, it means the fridge is ignited. Very similar to the heater on the other side of the van, you'll hold in the gas valve for about 5 to 10 seconds. Once it has ignited, and then in theory the fridge should stay lit on gas. You'd only use that if you're off grid, for instance. On the opposite side of the fridge, you've got the option to run 240 mains. So on gas or 240 mains, you control the temperature of the fridge with the thermometer button on the right hand side. As long as you connect it to mains, the fridge will start working straight away. Battery symbol just here is for the 12 volt supply that comes from the car you are towing with. So essentially, if you connect to the car, then come inside, once you've got the car running, etc., you'll essentially be able to use the fridge as a cool box while you're travelling down the road. The temperature control at that point is completely irrelevant. turn the fridge off, you'll spin it back round to the off position just here. Last thing we're going to go through on this particular caravan is the toilet system in the bathroom. So you've got an electric flush on top of the toilet, just here, so you press the blue button to flush your toilet. You've got a full indicator light for the toilet waste cassette. That light will illuminate red when the toilet waste cassette is full. So that little dot there, I should say, sorry. Toilet waste handle below the loo. You'll push that grey handle over towards the wall on the other side, and that will allow the toilet waste to go into the cassette under the van. The toilet seat turns for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the cassette from underneath the van, you do need to make sure that toilet seat is pointing straight forward from the cassette, so straight forward, because it has two lockout tabs on the toilet itself that will stop you removing the toilet cassette if the toilet is turned. So that is the Bailey Ranger GT60 505. If you have any further questions on the van, please don't hesitate to call us here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon to collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.